First of all, let me apologize that the last weekend update came out so late. We're still streamlining and refining our process and our schedule, so some things might be a little bit delayed, but over time that should get better. So, last weekend our plan was to clean up all the pieces of the body, the fill, and the bits for our battleaxe commission, and then to tack weld them so we could forge weld them. And what wound up happening is we got everything all cleaned up, and then we decided that it wasn't a good idea to tack weld it all at the time, because then we'd have to leave it sit until we went to forge weld it, and we could get some oxidation building up inside where we made those tack welds, or we couldn't get it off before we did the forge welding. So the plan now is to do the tack welding and the forge welding pretty much right back to back. So whenever we do that, we'll do a little bit of spot cleanup, and then we'll do the tack welding, and then forge weld them all together. Now, originally that forge welding was going to be this weekend, but Cole is in here, Jeremy I don't think is coming, so we're down 2 guys, so we're going to hold off on the forge welding for now. Instead, this weekend, Jake and I are going to practice forge welding some hatchets with hardenable bits, just to get a little bit more practice with the forge welding and with working with a bit, trying to weld a bit into the whole construction. Last Wednesday, we finished up the cleaning of the pieces because we didn't quite get all that done last weekend. Actually, we wound up having to go back and reshape a couple of our body pieces, and then just about all of our body pieces, we took them and tried to flatten them out a little bit more so they fit up better together for whenever we go to put it all, make it one piece. So we didn't quite get it all done last Saturday. Instead, we rolled that over, did that Wednesday. Also Wednesday, Cole and I worked on a couple of just mild steel sort of decorative daggers. I don't know where Cole's is, but this is the one I was working on here. So we got we're going to go with a through tang. We might try and thread the end here, put some sort of cap on the end. But yeah, just like a decorative thing we were just messing around with, trying to see what sort of stuff we can produce sort of easily if we want to do craft shows and things like that. As I was saying, the plan for today, instead of forge welding our battle axe, we're going to practice our forge welding with just a couple of little hatchets, just to make sure that we can do it proficiently before we go and move on to something that's a little bit more intense and high stakes, because if we mess up one of these battle axes, it's a lot of work. We have to start over from scratch. So we're working on some little hatchets today, just for a bit of practice. Also, we have a new commission that we're going to be working on pretty soon here, a relatively easy one. So our customer, he recently acquired some steel shooting targets. He tried putting them on a rope between a couple of trees in his backyard, but after a couple of shots, the rope would snap and the whole thing would fall down. So what he asked us to do was to create him some sort of stand that he can use to hold him up with a chain, because he doesn't want to run a chain halfway across his yard. So we've got a couple pieces off an old golf cart. These are like the roof support pieces. And what we're going to do, we think, is take this and bend it flat. We've got 2 pieces like this and 2 pieces like this that sort of have the 90-degree bend in them already. So we're going to take this and bend it flat, and then we'll drift this and widen it up a little bit. And once that's wide, we'll take the 90-degree piece and slot it into there, so this part can lay flat on the ground, and this part can stick straight up out of it. Once that's slotted into there, we'll go back, heat it back up, hammer it nice and tight so it doesn't come out. Also, what we're going to do, we have 2 of each of these. So what we're also going to do is drill a couple of spots, 2 or 3 spots, through the bottom, the base. And then we'll take some rebar. He said he wants it about 3.5 feet across, side to side. So we'll take some pieces of rebar that are about that length, we'll run them through, and then we'll bend them up on the sides, hold them in place, tack weld them, hold them in place a little bit more, and then the idea is you'll have two sort of runners as the base that are connected, and there will be two pieces that come straight up off of that. And between those two pieces is where you'll be able to hang the target. And then it's just a matter of weighting down the backside with some sandbags or cinder blocks, and you're good to go. In theory, we'll see how it turns out. That's pretty much it for today. Jake's already got his grinding done. He's working the forge already with his hatchet. So I'm going to go ahead and get this file cleaned up and start working on mine. As always, if you like what you see, go ahead, like, comment, subscribe down below, and you can go ahead and like us over on Facebook. Someday Cole might get off his ass and start doing something with that. So it's worth checking out if you're interested. That's pretty much it. So have a good one. We'll see you next week. But then we decided that